Alright guys, this will be a pretty long one. You're just seeing a couple of clips from the weekend. I ran sprints on Saturday and Sunday this weekend because the weather was just perfect. It was in the mid-60s, and in Alabama in October, that's pretty rare. So I took advantage. Obviously, the skies were very clear. And that's all you'll see from the sprints. And then I made this little snack/sandwich. 2 pecan spin wheels, I flattened those out. And then I topped them with egg whites and ham after frying them in the pan. Pretty good little snack. And here's training for Monday. You're just going to see one set of each exercise. Monday was squats and deadlifts, and then I did some accessories, but I didn't film those, and I had to do them later in the day because I only had an hour to do squats and deadlifts, and it took me actually probably about an hour and 2 minutes, so really went over the time that I really had to do this, but got it done. Everything felt really good. No grinders or anything. As you can see, this set's pretty smooth, and all 4 sets were pretty smooth. And that's the new Cookie Monster shirt that I got at Walmart for $3. So I was pretty happy about that purchase. And that's it for that set. Up next is deadlifts. Wearing my Deadpool knee-high socks, which I got for $8, the same time I got the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles socks you saw last week. So now I have 2 novelty pairs of socks for deadlifts, and maybe I'll start collecting them. We'll see. But it was 2 sets of 8 with 350. Again, everything felt pretty smooth, and I had to rush these. So the second set was not as smooth, but it was just because of fatigue. Just didn't have quite enough time to rest. Definitely feeling good on deadlifts lately. On to Tuesday's training. It was bench and OHP, and on this day I think I had like 3 hours to lift if I wanted. So, of course that would have been better if I'd had that much time on the lower body day, but that's alright. So I had 4 sets of 8 with 195, really smooth, pretty happy with the way everything felt. And you'll just see this one set of bench. Wasn't able to film overhead press. And that was it. Now we're on to Wednesday's training. You'll see a lot more of this session than you did the previous 2 sessions. On Monday, I was really rushed and it was difficult to film, and my camera was kind of acting up, and Tuesday, it just didn't seem really worthwhile to film. Wednesday is usually the hardest day of the week. Something about sets of 6 just makes them really hard for me. So I like to get more of this session. And this was a really rough one. It doesn't look as bad on video as it felt in person. But you'll see the first, third, fourth, and fifth sets of squats. It was 5 sets of 6 with 355. I was only planning on showing the first, third, and fifth, but I knew the fourth one was going to be pretty rough, so I decided to get it in here too. This is the third set here, and things started going downhill, so to speak, right here. This set was just rough. No really obvious misgrooves, nothing extreme. It's just a hard day, just one of those days. And after squats, I had bench press and deadlifts. I started warming up on bench press after 3 sets of squats, I think, maybe after 2. So I was into my working sets of bench, like right after I finished squats. That's just to save a little bit of time. And then I started warming up on deadlifts during bench press and had my first working set on like set 3 of bench press. So I just set it up that way to save a little bit of time without fatiguing myself too much, although sometimes there is a little bit of residual fatigue on each exercise. But you're seeing set 4 here. First 3 looked really smooth, nothing too bad. And then I think I misgrooved maybe on this rep. Nope, that's 5. I guess it's the last one. Yep. You can always tell because I come out of the bottom of the rep pretty quickly and then just get stuck. And it's because I sat back a little bit too far and was a little off balance. So that made this last set a little harder. And I've had a few people ask about my rest periods lately. On days like this, on the first 2 or 3 sets, it's between 5 and 6 minutes. And on the last 2 or 3 sets, it was somewhere between 7 and 8 minutes, maybe even longer than 8. It really just depends on the difficulty of the session. I actually didn't rest as long on Monday between squat sets. Seems like I'd need more rest between sets of 8, but like I said before, sets of 6 are just really hard for me, so needed more rest. And then on Friday's session, when I have heavy sets of 4, I'll probably rest about like I did on Monday. Not quite as long as this session, but a decent amount of time. I do time my rest periods just to make sure that I rest long enough. So, hope that answers some of your questions. On to bench press next. Wearing the long socks because I'm warming up on deadlifts here. It was 210 for 5 sets of 6. And I was just really fatigued everywhere at this point, and it did affect my bench press. So it's not always optimal to have all 3 lifts on the same day, but that's just the way I'm doing it right now. It's mostly so that I don't have to train on weekends because I like to have those free. That was the first set. Went pretty smoothly. It's my first set of deadlifts, and it was just 2 sets of 6 with 365. And again, I am fatigued here, so I had to stop a little bit longer and reset between each rep. And if anyone's curious, my weight has actually been above 180 on a couple of weigh-ins. I think the highest was like 180.4, but I think my true weight is still about 178 most days. So still in that weight class, and I'm trying to stay around this weight, but I'll probably get up to 183 or 184-ish eventually. But right now, like I said, a little bit below 180. Still making progress, still eating a lot. Carbs are still at 460, fats at 80, proteins at 220. I actually didn't even meet that a couple of days ago because I was just not at home all day and missed one of my normal eating times, so I ended up being like 400 calories short at the end of the day. No big deal. Last set of deadlifts here. Every rep felt pretty good. This point, I just wanted to get out of there. I actually had close grip bench planned, programmed, but when I got done with all of this, I was ready to go. So didn't worry about that. If I want to do an accessory, I can do it on Friday or Saturday because I do have a home gym, and I don't mind doing short sessions at home on the weekend. I think I should have time this weekend anyway. That is it for deadlifts. On to my last set of bench. And this set's a little bit grindy, but I knew I could get it done, so I did. And after this training session, I had an oatmeal cream pie and a cup of coffee for a post-workout. I enjoyed that quite a bit before I could get home and have a real meal. But that's pretty much it for this video. If you've stuck around, I appreciate it. Please like, share, and subscribe if you enjoyed it, and don't if you didn't. I'll talk to you next time.